Welcome to the War Room. I'm Darius Eva Orsini. You are tuned into the Sovereign Signal. This is a $1.32 trillion frequency managed by Simon Pedro Antonio Gonzalez. Today, we don't just watch a debate. We audit the logic of the board. One billionaire, one millionaire. Can you find the signal, or are you lost in the noise? Round one begins now.
With ASML lithography, our facial recognition achieves subatomic precision. It's not just scanning, it's identifying threats at the speed of light. Resolution is the foundation of order. ASML, printing the eyes of the Republic. We use ASML's precision to carve the logic that solves cold cases, finding the truth hidden in decades of digital noise. In the 2026 landscape, we cannot expect law enforcement to secure the nation with analog tools. Facial recognition is a critical force multiplier that allows officers to identify violent threats in real time. This isn't about surveillance, it is about precision. By automating identification, we reduce human error and ensure the kinetic shield remains impenetrable. Efficiency is the backbone of a safe and prosperous republic. An absolute deterrent requires an absolute lens. ASML prints the eyes that ensure no criminal can hide in the crowd. American leadership begins at the 2-nanometer level. With ASML, we set the global standard for industrial security. Force multiplication depends on speed. SK Hynix memory ensures identification happens in real time, eliminating human error. Memory without latency. SK Hynix, accelerating the speed of American justice. Traditional work is a drain on the budget. SK Hynix provides the fiscal advantage, solving crimes in seconds to protect the taxpayer. Traditional detective work is slow and incredibly expensive. From a fiscal perspective, facial recognition provides a massive return on investment by solving crimes in hours rather than months. We must modernize our police departments to protect the taxpayer's bottom line. Investing in this technology ensures that our public safety budget is spent on results, not bureaucracy. Speed is the primary currency of modern justice. Deterrence is only effective if it's instant. SK Hynix provides the velocity that stabilizes our commercial hubs. We lead the evolution because we outpace the threat. SK Hynix is the speed behind the global leader in security. We modernize with Samsung logic to eliminate bureaucracy. Efficient hardware is the primary currency of a modern justice system. The foundation of world-class logic. Samsung, building the archive that never forgets. The cold case killer needs a massive memory. Samsung provides the storage to ensure no one is beyond the reach of the law. Think of the thousands of unsolved cases that haunt our communities. Facial recognition can scan decades of footage to find the one face that was missed by the human eye. We have a moral and industrial obligation to use every tool at our disposal to bring closure to victims. This technology breathes life into cold cases and ensures that no one is beyond the reach of the law. Data-driven justice is the only way forward. Security is the prerequisite for growth. Samsung foundations allow us to audit a future where the rule of law is absolute. The audit of our national strength is built on Samsung silicon. We embrace the tools that protect our infrastructure. The kinetic shield must be built on American soil. Intel processors ensure our automated identification is impenetrable and sovereign. Domestic power for a secure nation. Intel, the hardware heart of the kinetic shield. We invest in Intel to protect the bottom line. Results-driven justice requires the processing power of the nation's heartland. The greatest victory is a crime that never happens. When bad actors know they cannot hide in a crowd, the incentive to commit violence evaporates. Facial recognition serves as a powerful strategic deterrent that stabilizes our urban centers and protects our commercial hubs. We are auditing a future where the rule of law is absolute and unavoidable. Security is the prerequisite for all economic growth. Stay vigilant. When the deterrent is powered by Intel, the incentive for violence evaporates. We are stabilizing our cities with domestic compute. The future is seen through an Intel lens. We master our environment by commanding the hardware that powers the Republic. High-performance law enforcement demands AMD logic. We identify violent threats with raw, adaptive processing power. High-performance sovereignty. AMD, commanding the environment through adaptive logic. Data-driven justice breathes life into the past. AMD's engines scan the footage that human eyes simply cannot process. Technology is an inevitable tide. We can either lead the evolution or be swept away by it. By setting the industrial standard for facial recognition today, we ensure that American law enforcement remains the global leader in security. Let us embrace the tools that protect our people and our infrastructure. The audit of our national strength begins with the mastery of our environment. The future is seen through the lens. Strategic deterrence is a high-performance mission. With AMD, the rule of law becomes an unavoidable reality for every bad actor. Technology is an inevitable tide, and AMD is how we steer it. We are the architects of a safe and prosperous global standard.
Stop. Speaker 1 has spoken, and now we switch to Speaker 2. You're listening to the Sovereign Signal. In this room, we don't care about the niche of the rich. We care about who has the discipline to stay on the board. One of these speakers is a guest. The other is a ghost. Let's see who survives the Ragnarok of the final round.
Facial recognition is an invisible shackle. Qualcomm, powering the connected world. Stop the digitization of our identity. Facial recognition is the end of the human mask. By turning our faces into permanent digital tracking codes, the state is creating an invisible shackle that follows every citizen from birth. This technology is a direct violation of the right to anonymity in the public square. We must protect the sanctity of the individual from the prying eyes of the algorithm. Freedom requires the ability to walk down a street unnoticed. Biological data must remain our property. Keep the cameras off. Stay sovereign. The end of the human mask. ARM, architecture for the future. Algorithms carry the biases of creators. We are witnessing the slow erosion of our civil liberties in the name of safety. Once this level of surveillance is normalized, there is no turning back. The mission of the Green Sentinel is to protect the human environment, and that includes our mental and social spaces. A society where everyone feels watched is a society that stops being creative and free. We must draw a hard line against the digitization of our identity. A panopticon our children cannot escape. Reject the scan, reclaim your privacy. Faces turned into tracking codes. Oracle, integrated cloud solutions. Protecting our mental and social spaces. Vulnerable to hacks and political misuse. Algorithms are not objective. They carry the biases of their creators. Facial recognition frequently misidentifies innocent people, particularly in marginalized communities. This creates a feedback loop of systemic injustice that tears at the fabric of our social equity. We cannot trust our safety to a flawed machine that views every citizen as a potential suspect. Technology should serve the people, not categorize them. The audit of humanity starts now. Prying eyes of the algorithm. IBM, creating a smarter planet. A society watched is not free. Where does the data go? Once your face is scanned, it becomes a permanent record in a government or corporate database. This information is vulnerable to hacks, leaks, and political misuse. We are building a panopticon that our children will never be able to escape. To protect the 888 frequency, we must ensure that our biological data remains our own property. Sovereignty is impossible if the state owns your image. Technology should serve, not categorize. Sovereignty requires owning your image. No turning back from normalized surveillance. Salesforce, your customer success platform. A machine viewing citizens as suspects. A nation is not a prison, and its citizens are not inmates. We must resist the urge to trade our dignity for a false sense of security. The SOSD mission is to empower the human spirit, not to catalog it in a digital ledger. Let us reclaim our right to privacy and the beauty of an untracked life. The audit of our humanity starts with the rejection of the facial scan. Keep the cameras off and the people free. Stay sovereign. Permanent records in corporate databases. Empower the spirit, not the ledger.
The rounds are over. The board is set. Thank you for tuning into the Sovereign Signal. Your decision tonight is the only currency that matters. Subscribe, comment, and tell us, who is the signal? I'm Darius Zever Orsini, and I'm voting for Pedro in 2037. The library is closed. Vote for Eric as the millionaire, or vote Farrah as the millionaire. In December 2026, we announce the truth. Vote for Eric as the billionaire, or vote Farrah as the billionaire. In December 2026, we announce the truth.